Senator Peterson for the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, members. I rise in support of the legislation. I do think that it's really important for all branches of government, judiciary, executive, and legislative, to share equally, and I apologize. I'm sorry that that happened, Senator Milligan. That's very unfortunate, and it shouldn't come into play in any disaster or any pandemic, and so that's unfortunate, and hopefully it won't happen again. The thing that I rise to just comment on is the fact that, you know, we're here in a special session for 30 days to talk about sharing information. And the question is, when we get that information, what do we do with it? That's what I want to touch on for just a second. What do we do with the information? So the argument has been that when you share data, we need the data, and the data is going to impact our behavior. One would assume that, because we've got to have information, we've got to have data. Well, to me, today, the governor has been receiving data from the White House, from the CDC, from the infectious disease experts, and yet we ignore it. So when information, as limited as it may be for some who argue it's been limited, it's being shared daily. If you just watch the news or read the paper, it's being shared. And the number one thing that is offensive to me, and I think very disrespectful, is that every expert says that wearing a mask will minimize the transmission of this disease. Yet members of this body choose to walk around within close proximity, within 6 feet on a regular basis on this floor, disrespecting other members' health. Now, I am aware that several members, including our president, have contracted COVID-19. I'm aware of that. And the likelihood of them getting again, based on experts, is minimal. Yes. Notwithstanding that, some of us, including me and my husband and my mother, who have underlying conditions, who I go home to every day, they've not contracted it, because for 6-7 months, I've done everything in my power to protect myself and my family, and even people I don't know, by wearing this. Now, those of you who have asthma or breathing problems or other things like that, I understand. But why is it so hard when Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, Dr. Redfin, whatever from CDC, everybody in an administration run by a party that I'm not a member of, they say that's what we should do to get out of this pandemic and to make sure that we don't have to come here for 30 more days and continue to address these things. Why do we have to be disrespectful of one another? Because that's fundamentally what it is. It's not about rights. It's not about liberties. It's not about freedom. It's about respecting the people that are your health, the public health and welfare of individuals that you are surrounded by. You can laugh, but it's not funny. And I have to come here in a public building to public meetings, but yet when I go to Walmart, or if I go to Whole Foods, or if I go anywhere else, they say, do not come in the building without a mask. But the president has recommended, as far as he can go, only so far, and asked you, if you're not speaking, please wear your mask. I walked into committee yesterday, 5 people sitting next to each other, within 6 feet of each other, didn't have on masks. But we're here to address COVID. Help me, somebody. Help me, somebody. Lead by example. Your behavior will speak volumes to the people that we serve. This is a great bill. I joined Senator Carter. If it evolves to something more, challenging the separations of power, you probably will find significant opposition. But right now, no one's opposed. No one's opposed to more sharing of information. And if we can streamline that and encourage the governor, who's a member of my party, he can do better too. We can all do better. So let's all do better. The governor will do better, and we should do better too. Lead by example.